afternoon and welcome from beautiful Barnhart Field here in Rochester, Indiana at Rochester High School tonight for some track action coming your way here on RTC TV 4 and on the IHSA Champions Network. Rochester Zebras hosting Tippecanoe Valley and Triton here tonight in a three-way meet. And Val, we finally have some nice weather. Boy, I tell you what, we've had about as many cancellations this spring as I can ever remember of spring sports. I mean, it's Indiana and weather can be nasty, but it has just been wet this year for sure.
I agree, Stephen. It's been it's almost been, whenever there's been a track meet, it's been especially bad.
Yeah, I think this is more track meets that we've had canceled than I can ever remember.
Yeah, and I was at the Cass County meet. Obviously, none of those teams are here tonight, but I was talking with Teresa Montgomery, the Pioneer track coach, and she said her JV athletes have competed only once all year.
Mm-hmm.
Because the weather's all bad, so I imagine a lot of these coaches that we're going to see tonight are in kind of a similar boat. But I'm really, really excited to see what McKenna Jackson can do in the pole vault. She broke the school record with 9.7 at the LaPorte Invite about a week and a half ago, and then she went 9.6 at the Tipton Invite last Friday, and in a lot of ways, the 9.6 at Tipton might have been more impressive than the 9.7 at LaPorte because the weather at Tipton was just awful. It was raining and it was chilly. It was about 20 to 25 degrees cooler than it is tonight. And on top of that, it was wet, so I don't know how she was able to even plant the pole safely. So, and McKenna's going to be one of the seniors that Rochester is going to be honoring tonight. She has had just a fantastic year. She broke Ashley Minnick's school record in the pole vault. I think I was here when Ashley broke the record about 12 years ago. And but McKenna she's gone at least 9 feet 3 times this year. She's one of the key seniors on this team. The other senior on the girls' team at Rochester, the other senior who's a really big contributor to this team is Isabel Dunwoody. Isabel has done the 200 meters a lot. This year she can run kind of those middle distances. And she is also part of that 4x100-meter relay team for Rochester. As many of you know, Isabel is trying to do doing two sports at the same time. She's also a member of the tennis team and has been doing some JV girls tennis in addition to track. For the boys team at Rochester, again, it's a pretty young team, but the two seniors who have had really the biggest impact are Braden Crom. Braden's you might remember Braden from soccer season. He was a key player on Coach Backus's soccer team, and he also does he's also a sprinter. He does the 100 meters, the 200 meters, and he does the 4x100 relay. So we are going to keep an eye on Braden tonight, with this being his senior night. The other senior, who is a key member of the Rochester boys track team, is distance runner Lane Shank. Lane ran an 11:52 in the 3,200 meters at Tipton the other night, and Lane is also a member of that 4x8 relay team for Rochester. He's the only senior on that relay team. So again, the two big seniors on the Rochester girls team are McKenna Jackson and Isabel Dunwoody, and the two big senior on the Rochester boys track team are Braden Crom and Lane Shank. Now, as terms of some events that I'm really think we should be looking forward to tonight, the boys discus is going to be very interesting, Steve, with Dalton Alber of Tippecanoe Valley and Mason Heisey of Rochester going at it. Mason threw the disc 145.5 at LaPorte about a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the type of throw that can win you a conference championship or can win you a sectional championship. But that's the only time he's ever done it. And in a lot of ways, what he did at Tipton last week was, even though it wasn't as long, was also pretty darn impressive. He threw it 134.7.
Wow.
At Tipton, with what had to have been kind of a wet plate. And I don't know how good of his footing could have been down there. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Mason does against Dalton Alber. Mason is a junior, and then going up against a senior in Dalton Alber. Dalton is probably a little more experienced in the discus, but Mason has basically, I've thrown from the results that I've seen, Mason's probably had a little bit better of a year so far this year. So I'm curious to see how the competition brings out the best in those guys and then boys discus. Boys shot put, I'm really happy to see. We're all really happy to see Xavier Vance back, and X is having a very good year. But he's not the only thrower that's been really been contributing to this year's team. There've been a number of guys, and we should also give a shout out among the throwers. Liam Pinder of Rochester threw the disc 123.7 at Tipton, and that was a PR. And for anybody to do a PR in that weather, you have to think they're really kind of, I guess you'd say, literally getting their footing. As for the Rochester, we're really looking forward, of course, to seeing from the Valley side. We're really looking forward to seeing Chesney Miller. I mean, Chesney's just had an awesome track career. She's going to be running at Manchester University. She made state and cross country in the fall, but she's really her best events are the 400 and the 800 in track, because it really kind of, she's just so darn strong, and that the 800 really kind of, I think that's the perfect event for her, and she's just awesome in that event, and I'm really hope she runs that one tonight. As for Rochester, the distance crew is really young, with Allison Calloway and Brooklyn Chandler. They're just sophomores. Allison ran 2:49 in the 800 at Tipton, and again on a wet track. So again, curious to see what Allison does today. And Brooklyn has really been coming on. She ran Allison. Both Allison and Brooklyn can run basically anything between 800 and 3,200. And again, whenever I'm driving around town, I'm running. It's Allison and Brooklyn running together. Brooklyn's gotten her 3,200 time down to like in the low 13s already, and she's chipped off over a minute on her time already this year. So we will see how they do against the Valley distance girls. But having said that, Rochester has their conference meet coming up on Friday at Wabash, and you're kind of wondering if maybe the distance girls if Coach Helt will take it easy with the distance girls. And Coach, so that's kind of something to keep an eye on. Valley's got another three-way home meet with Caston and Culver Academy on Thursday night. But again, Valley doesn't have a conference meet to get ready for. So again, how Coach Jenny Moriarty kind of utilizes her lineup is kind of to be determined. On the boys' side, obviously we can't wait to see Wade Jones run. And Wade, the defending 200-meter champion at the regional level. Rochester with Wade should be, again, if Wade's healthy and running well, I mean, he should win tonight, but again, Maddox Jewell is a kid from Rochester who's been improving a lot lately. He's gotten his 200 time down to 24.5. Obviously, Wade's running the 22s, but Maddox is really cutting down on his time. Maddox just a junior. And on the 800 meters, Grant Bailey ran 2:07.2 in the 800 at Tipton the other night. So again, looking forward to seeing if he goes tonight and if he goes full bore, and what's his potential in the 200. Obviously, you lose a state qualifier to graduation, and
that Tipton race for Grant, I mean, that was something pretty cool. I saw the video of the finish there, and
finished in second place.
Yeah, he just got legged out a little bit there at the end, but wow, what a race, and it's a pretty good time for really not very good conditions. So as we finally start to get some nice weather, it's going to be interesting to see if some of these throws get longer and some of these times go down for these kids.
Yeah. Another kid I'm really looking forward to seeing is the Rochester freshman on the girls' side, Kyra Doran. Kyra has an interesting kind of, I guess you'd say, menu of events. She does the 200 meters, she does the 100-meter hurdles, and she does the long jump. And obviously she's going up against a very, very experienced long jumper tonight, we presume, in Chesney Miller. I mean, Chesney has qualified for regionals before in the long jump as well. And there's another junior athlete on the girls' side for Rochester, Audrey Wagner. She does the 100 meters. She does the 300-meter hurdles, and she does the 4x100 relay. So the 100-meter dash, the 300-meter hurdles, and the 4x1 relay, that's kind of a unique combination. I don't know if we see that very often.
No, not really. Usually 100 dash would be 100 hurdles and that style, but the 300, that I tell you what, the 400 is probably the hardest race, but the 300 hurdles, that's got to be right up there. I mean, that is just a long way to go, and to do hurdles on top of it and to be sprinting the whole way. That's a tough race.
Right. I mean, you have to be good at counting your steps.
Mm-hmm. I saw a video of some boys, I don't remember where it was, but they had mistakenly put one of the rows of hurdles on the 110 at the wrong spot, and it ended in some pretty bad, some pretty upset kids. All right, so we're getting ready for senior night here, so we'll turn it over to the PA announcer and start get that going here for you here and honor these Rochester seniors.
Join the RHS track and field coaching staff and the athletic administration in recognizing members of the class of 2024. Isabel Dunwoody is the daughter of Sally and Dwight Dunwoody, who are escorting her tonight. Isabel has competed in the 400, 200, high jump, 4x100, and 4x400. She is a part of the RHS tennis team, a member of student council, and interns at Columbia Elementary School with speech pathologist Alicia Help. After graduation, Isabel will attend Purdue University to pursue a degree in speech, hearing, and language sciences. Isabel's favorite track and field memories are doing backflips at the high jump with Clarence Spear. Miss Isabel Dunwoody. Caden Heichman is the son of Tia and Trevor Heichman. He is escorted tonight by Sarah Masterson. Caden is a sprinter, primarily competing in the 400. Caden's favorite class at RHS is weights, and his favorite teacher is Mr. Help. He is involved in work-based learning at RHS. After graduation, Caden plans to join the workforce. His favorite RHS track and field memory is taking a chance joining this sport for his senior year. Mr. Caden Eichmann. McKenna Jackson is the daughter of David and Katrina Jackson. She competed in 4x1, long jump, high jump, and pole vault during her RHS career. McKenna's favorite class at RHS is W131, or Spanish, and her favorite teacher is Mrs. Tim. McKenna is involved at Student Council, National Honor Society, Art Club, and Spanish Club at RHS. After graduation, McKenna plans to attend Palm Beach Atlantic University, where she will double major in cinema arts and concentration in franchising while pursuing screenwriting and journalism. Her favorite RHS track and field memory is breaking the pole vault record in 40-degree weather and having prom on the same day. Miss McKenna Jackson. Braden Crum is the son of Wayne and Johnny Crum. Braden competes in the 100, 200, and 4x100. Braden's favorite class at RHS is engineering. His favorite teacher is Mr. Help because of the comic relief during class. Braden is involved in soccer and National Honor Society. After graduation, Braden will attend Purdue University to study automation and systems engineering. Braden's favorite RHS track and field memory is delivering toilet paper to Coach House class his sophomore year. Mr. Braden Crum. Lane Shank is the son of Sam and Jen Shank and is escorted tonight by his parents. Lane competes in the 800, 1600, 3200, and 4x800. Lane's favorite class at RHS is jazz band, and his favorite teacher is Mrs. Cooper. He is involved in band, jazz band, NHS, and FCA at RHS. After graduation, Lane will attend Purdue Fort Wayne to study music education. His favorite track and field memory is when the 4x800 team had to walk off the track at regionals last year. Next and last but not least is Parker Wallace. He is the son of Michelle Wallace and Donald Wallace. Parker is escorted tonight by Michelle Wallace, Eric Bungie, Donald Wallace, and Michelle Maroney. Parker competes primarily in high jump and long jump, but also has run the 4x100 and the hurdles. His favorite class at RHS is economics, and his favorite teacher is Mr. Ferrara, because even when Parker isn't talking, Mr. Ferrara still seems to find a way to yell at him for talking. Parker is involved in football, soccer, track, wrestling, guitar class, and key club at RHS. After graduation, he will go to Ball State University to major in entrepreneurship and innovation and minor in real estate. Parker's favorite RHS track and field memory is when Joel Hensley fell in high jump and hit his head on the standards, then started bleeding everywhere. Let's give a big round of applause and wish these seniors well.
If you could please rise if you are able. Gentlemen, remove your caps and face the visitors' stands for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm sorry, the National Anthem.
right, so the seniors have all been honored. The nation has been honored. And we are getting ready to go here with some field events, Val.
Yeah, and Rochester on the boys' side, I know the long jump's done cafeteria style, so we're not really going to be able to concentrate much on the long jump because you don't know who's going to be jumping when. But I wanted to give a shout out to both Maddox Jewell and Bryce Bogger, who both had good seasons. Bryce was only able to go 15:10 at Tipton the other day, but he's gone over 19 feet this season. And I looking forward to seeing what he does tonight. And Maddox Jewell has really been coming on as well. I think Bryce has gone 19.6. So if you go 19.6 at the sectional, you at least give yourself a chance to make it to regional. And again, I don't even know. I don't know Bryce's background in the long jump. Maybe if he's just learning it, who's to say he doesn't have another jump in, another few inches in him. We've seen Bryce on the basketball court. There's no question he's athletic enough. And I want to give a shout out to Tyler Reese, who's really had a nice year in the shot put. He's gone 40 plus this year. He threw 38.2 at Tipton the other night. So he's somebody looking forward to looking at.
Yeah, we're going to just kind of bounce around a little bit here on field events. So, like you said, we're not going to be able to just concentrate too much on one. We're going to just kind of give you a little bit of an idea here as we're looking at the long jump pit right now. And we're going to have some shot put there from that camera. We're also going to have some high jump and some pole vault here. If Caleb can decide what he's doing on that camera, we'll give you a little bit of that. But it's just kind of everything's a little bit spread out here. Of course, the setup is really, hard with the discus. I know you were talking about getting some of that coverage of that, but that's across the parking lot basically there for the disc. So
yeah, we should mention Rochester didn't send any boys pole vaulters to Tipton again. I don't know if that was because of the weather, just because they didn't wanted to give the kids a week off. But Trevor Wally is really having a nice year. He's gone 11 feet already. And Gage Zimpelman's gone 10 feet. So obviously McKenna Jackson has had just a phenomenal year in the girls' pole vault, but Rochester's got some good boys' pole vaulters as well.
Just give you kind of an around the horn here look. They're trying to get the stanchion set up there for the pole vault and the long jump, and we're going to be getting underway here with some running here before too long as well. So, there's the high jump there. All right, Caleb, make up your mind where you going there. Let's go back over here to the long jump. Nothing really going on yet. Let's take a quick commercial break here, and we'll come back, thank some of our sponsors, and get ready to go here with some field events here in just a minute here on RTC TV4. All right, welcome back here. Beautiful day today here in Rochester, and boy, we need one of these days, Val. It's just been a wet and kind of chilly spring here. We've just had so many cancellations, and including last night, we had a good slew of cancellations. The Zebras baseball and softball teams are both in action here tonight, hosting Wabash. Those were supposed to take place last night, and obviously got pushed back one day, and so they're going to have back-to-back nights as they're going to be hosting Mechaniqua in both baseball and softball tomorrow evening at Bob Copeland and Fansler Field. So back-to-back TRC games for both the boys and girls tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, Rochester and Wabash 0-0, top of the second in softball so far. The baseball game just getting underway.
So we're getting second call. We're going to have the first running event coming up, which is the 3,200 meter relay, or the 4x800, however you want to term that. All four girls will run an 800 here, so that would be event number one. The field events getting underway as well. So
got some familiar faces on this Valley girls team. Of course, the last time they competed at a sporting event at Rochester, it was For many of them, it was an event they'd rather forget when they lost to Bremen in the sectional final across the parking lot. But, Gabby Gonzalez is a sprinter on this team. And what an impressive young freshman Hadley Wise is. Ran 28 seconds flat to win the 200 meters at the Goshen. Hold on a sec. I want to make sure I have this right here. She ran 28 seconds at Jimtown the other day.
Okay.
To win the Jimtown Classic. 28 seconds flat, and the girl who finished third in that race was another Valley freshman, Isabella Woodruff, 29.27. So Valley with two talented freshman sprinters.
Yeah, just a really, really deep team here for Coach Moriarty. I mean, what a good group of kids that she has, and a great group of seniors as well. Obviously, you talked about Wade and Chesney kind of leading the way on the boys and the girls' side.
And Ava Smith. Ava ran a 13.6 in the 100 meters at Jimtown. Finished in third place behind Ernstberger from New Prairie and Wiegand from Jimtown. But Woodruff, the freshman, was fourth in that in the 100 meters as well. So, as you might expect, Valley can put together a good relay. Valley always has good relay teams, and that's a real credit to Coach Moriarty and the team that she has together. There, you never hear about bad baton handoffs with Valley relays. On top of that, they're usually pretty darn fast. Valley's 4x4 relay has been especially good this year. At Jimtown the other day, Valley isn't listed as having a time. There not sure if there was an injury involved, but Valley's got on their 4x4 relay. They got a freshman on the team in Hadley Wise. They got a sophomore in Betty Shepard, and they got two seniors in Chesney Miller and Ava Smith. That's a really good team, and as long as they can pass the baton and avoid any handoff mishaps, that should be a team that should have a really good year in the 4x4 relay.
Chris, you can go ahead and point over to the start here and get these as they start this race.
On your marks.
4x8 relay is underway. Girls and boys running this race combined. This is kind of like a mini sectional, Steve.
Yeah.
Girls sectional is 2 weeks from today, Tuesday, May 14th at Bremen. Rochester Valley and Triton, all three of those teams are in that sectional. And then the boys sectional is Thursday, May 16th at Plymouth. And all three of those teams are in that sectional as well. Of course, as many of you know, the sectional field is the same for girls and boys, so we should get a little bit of an idea of how these teams stack out. Obviously, Culver Academy has dominated both the girls and boys sectional in recent years.
First leg of this 4x800 is about 3/4 of the way through, and Valley out in front here so far as Triton and then Rochester round out the field there.
Rochester ran a 9:19 in this event at Tipton the other night, but again, that was in terrible weather. Valley ran a 9:40 in this event at Jimtown the other night. That was Chris Marquez on the first leg, and he just handed off to Luis Nunez.
Chris, leave that camera on long jump, and then I need you to jump up on the other camera. I think that's going to be more useful.
Reese Johnson with the baton for Rochester. Brooklyn Chandler with the baton for the Rochester girls. Ladies E's ran 11:18 in the 4x8 relay at Tipton last Friday. Nobody older than a sophomore on the Rochester girls 4x8 team. Callaway, Ella Hake, Brooklyn Chandler, all sophomores, and Taylor Navarre is a freshman. So I believe that's Leandro Javier who has the baton for Rochester now.
This is second call for the girls' 100-meter hurdles and first call for the boys' 110-meter hurdles.
And that is Eli Stirk with the baton for the Valley boys.
Stay there for a minute, Chris.
Chandler handing off to Hake for the Rochester girls.
Go ahead and pan right, Chris, to the start-finish there. There you go. Hand back left. Leave it there. Okay. Unmuted.
Okay, Stirk is about to hand off, and that is going to be Isaac Whetstone running anchor for the Valley boys. Triton is in second in the boys' race. They make their last handoff. Javier is receiving some encouragement from Reese Johnson. He's about to hand off to Grant Bailey.
Follow him around.
Grant ran a season best 207.2 in the Open 800 at Tipton. So let's see what he does here. He can maybe cut into this deficit against Whetstone and the Triton team.
Definitely off to a quick first 300 there for Bailey.
Yeah. Whetstone leading by about 15, 20 meters over Triton as we reach the bell lap.
Stay wide now for a little bit. And left. That Valley boy comes around. That's going to be the lead runner for the boys, so kind of follow him in. He's on your left.
Valley girls about to make their last handoff. Chesney Miller has the baton.
Stay there. Yep, kind of follow him in.
It's Whetstone cruising in, but we got a race for second place here, and this is a difference of 3 points. Triton leading.
Zoom out on
Bailey
that
trying to
too.
make up some ground. Bailey is doesn't quite get there.
Boy, just another yard there, and he would have had it, but just not able to. He had a lot of ground that he made up.
Yeah. I'd like to see what Grant's split was there. But Valley gets off to gets 5 points and Triton gets 3. Allison Calloway with the baton for the Rochester girls.
Go ahead and follow her around. Of course, her older sister Madeline is doing very well over at Lewis University over in Romeoville, Illinois.
Oh, heck yeah. I think she did the 10K
Yeah, that's crazy.
in her, like, a 36 minutes was, or no, it wasn't. I want to say what her time was. It was a good time. It was like,
Yeah, it was her first, I think, 10K
Yeah.
as well, and yeah, she had a really good time, and she just, I guess, really likes running. I don't know why. I never really got into it like that, but boy, those runners, and she's a good one, and her little sister's doing great as well. Zoom out and then kind of let the others come in with the picture as well.
Calloway scooting in. The win, we're going to have a little bit of a race for second place with Chesney Miller trying to track down Triton, and she's going to do it, Steve.
Oh, yeah, that shows, what kind of strength and endurance that Chesney has, and that kick at the end, wow.
At this time, please place the hurdles on the track for the girls' 100-meter hurdles. The hurdles will be placed at the yellow marks on the track and at the heights that correspond to the yellow tape line.
Chesney's so versatile. I'm curious to see what Coach Moriarty decides what to do with her once we get to Bremen in 2 weeks. Will she do 400, 800 long jump in one of the relays, or will she do 2 individual races and 2 relays?
Yeah, that's one of the that's a fine line, right? When you have somebody as talented as her, you want her to do everything, but also you can't expect her to do everything at a sectional qualifying level, and not just wear yourself so thin that maybe you don't do as well in each event. So
Right, and the 400 and the 800, that's a lot.
oh yeah, Yeah.
at a sectional, especially when there's not a lot of lag time. At the TRC conference race, which is lasts 5 hours long, you get a little more of a breather in between the 400 and the 800. But at a sectional, which skips by pretty quick, not a lot of lag time. So yeah, I'm curious to see what Chesney wants. Chesney's. There are not a lot of girls who run under 2:30 in the 800 meters, but Chesney is one of those people. All right, we got girls' 100-meter hurdles coming up. And if there are hurdles and we're watching the Valley girls track team, that means Betty Shepard.
Yeah.
What a year Betty had last year and made it all the way to regionals and the 300 hurdles. She's a good 100 hurdler, but I think 300 hurdles is her best. She's just so darn strong. And
start finish, Chris.
Betty ran 17.06 at Jimtown on Friday. She beat the competition by almost 2 full seconds.
Sorry, start line. It's not the start finish, my bad. See them getting lined up here, getting ready to go for the 100-meter hurdles for the girls.
And again, we'll see Betty in the 300 hurdles. Any girl who runs under 50 in the 300 hurdles, you're really good. Betty ran 49.1 at Jimtown in the 300 hurdles and won that race by over 3.5 seconds.
Say that again. She won the hurdles by.
In the 300 hurdles, she ran at Jimtown. She ran the 100 hurdles, ran 17.06, and beat the field by almost 2 full seconds.
Wow.
In the 300 hurdles, she ran 49.1 and beat the field by over 3.5 seconds.
Wow.
Only one girl was within 5 seconds of her. Of course, Betty's father, Sean Shepard, the JV boys basketball coach for Coach Lewson. We're underway. Betty Shepard leading. Doran was in second, but the Triton runner has taken over, and it will be Shepard and then Triton and then Doran finishing third.
Rochester athletes, please move the hurdles to the blue marks and blue tape settings. This is third and final call for the boys 110-meter hurdles.
Good race there. As we take another look here, Shepard, like you said, boy, she is she's good. You don't win a sprint event by that much normally.
And she gets stronger as the race goes on.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to change the hurdles up, lift them up, and put them on the marks for the 110 for the boys here coming up. And take another look over at the long jump pit. Let's see, Sam and Jen Shank. Of course, we got a chance to see them. Their son Lane is graduating this year. Hard to believe. Seems like Lane has been a big part of the cross country, and he swims and runs track, and just he's been a little bit of everything over the last 4 years. It's plus the band major. He got a little airtime last year during football season on that as well.
He's going to major in music education at Purdue Fort Wayne.
Yeah. He said that getting a major for the band was part of his. I think that pushed him over the top there. Really made him decide that that was what he wanted to do. So. They hand you some results there.
They did. Boys 4x800 relay. Valley won it in 9:19:46. Triton second 9:25:41. Rochester third 9:25:61.
Don't have splits though, do you?
No.
I was curious to see what Grant ran.
I'm guessing Alex Gudeman would know, but
yeah, that was a nice split there by Grant. I know he was way behind and almost caught up there. Watching the pole vault a little bit here. Want to see McKenna Jackson with her now holding the school record. She got 9.7 at LaPorte, and again, that was another one of those that just wasn't in real good weather conditions, so that was very impressive.
And 9.6 at Tipton.
Yeah.
And maybe even worse weather.
Right. She probably hasn't even started yet. I haven't seen her going just yet. Probably not going to mess around at some of those lower heights. Going to wait until they get up more into her neighborhood there and get a shot to see the new Rochester Zebras record holder in the girls pole vault. And Val, even more impressive, I guess, is her doing that because they didn't really get a chance to compete last year because of the damage that the wind did, and they didn't. Did they do any pole vault at all last year with at Rochester?
They did, but really not until not until conference.
Yeah. I mean, that's something you need to really keep working on. So it's impressive that she's able to do that and at such a high level as well.
Yeah, we should mention that girls 4x8 relay team from Rochester, the one that was Allison Calloway, Taylor Navarra, Brooklyn Chandler, and Ella Hake. And again, Navarra's a freshman, the other three are sophomores.
Yeah, that's a good result.
Yeah, so they're young, but it's really kind of a close knit and they group, and they run a lot of them run cross country together. So I always think that there's that accountability thing, but they make it fun for each other as well. Yep. Winning Valley team Marquez, Nunez, Sturk, and Whetstone in a time of 19:46, as we mentioned.
So they got the hurdle set here for the boys 110. Yeah. We're going to get this going here in just a second.
Again, for those unfamiliar, when you have a three-way track meet, the top four places in individual events score.
Right.
5, 3, 2, 1. And in a relay, the top two relay teams in each race score 5 and 3. So that's why we were talking about that close race for second place. Why didn't, in a lot of ways, that's a 6-point swing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of you getting 3 and their team getting 0, they get 3 and you get 0. So.
Right.
Boys 110 hurdles. And Rochester will win it. Triton second, Valley third, and Rochester fourth. Was that? Let's see, was that Heichman?
Place the hurdles outside the track in the rocks as close as possible to the red marks on the track. Set the height at the lower of the two red tape settings. That setting will be found on the same side of the hurdles as the yellow tape mark. This is the third and final call for the girls' 100-meter dash, the second call for boys' 100-meter dash, and first call for the girls' 1,600-meter run.
Take a look here at some high jumping action. The girls are working on the high jump. Thank Chris and Caleb for helping out here with their camera work tonight. And you hear me kind of giving them instructions over the walkie-talkies. I'm kind of doing double duty here with the production and controlling the cameras and doing a little commentating here with Val. So
a couple high jumpers I'm looking forward to taking a look at tonight from Valley, and they're both kids we're pretty familiar with from the basketball court. In Carly Snyder, and Ava Egolf has come out for track, and she's
What's she running?
She does the high jump.
High jump? Okay. Not running, I guess, then. But
And with Rochester, Dunwoody has done some high jump this year.
no pun intended, right? Has done.
You know, I'm so good, Steve, that I make puns even when I'm not even trying.
Don't even have to try anymore, right? They're there. And
Dunwoody went 4-4 in a meet at Lewis Cass a couple weeks ago. And Doran has done, we've talked about Doran, she's done she's done the 100 hurdle, she's done the 200 meters, she's done the long jump, and she's also done a little high jump. But Carly Snyder from Valley's gone 4:10. So if you're doing 4:10, there's a good chance you'll make it to the regional. You can consistently get to 4:10. No guarantee. But you certainly might have a good chance. There's all three of these teams going to Bremen for their girls sectional on May 14th and Plymouth for the boys sectional on May 16th, and then the girls regional is May 21st at Kokomo, and the boys regional is May 23rd at Goshen. Underway in the 100 meters.
This is third and final call for the boys 100-meter dash, second call for the girls 1,600-meter run, and first call for the boys 1,600-meter run.
Chris, when they're done, kind of stop right at the finish line so you can see everybody come through. Don't follow them all the way out. Makes sense as you're panning. Got a B race here, looks like, for the girls. Take another look here over at the long jump pit. Here is, they're doing that one cafeteria style, right, Val?
Yep.
Long jump. So girls, boys, just whenever you get a chance, go over and make your 3 jumps and move on to the next. We'll talk a little bit tonight, Val, but obviously more over the next few weeks and talking sports and all that. But the long-awaited sectional pairings, sectional matchups or setups for football and volleyball and boys and girls basketball came out today.
Yeah, we're
And
still
soccer.
we're still kind of digesting it all.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I think there's some teams that you're going to see in sectional action that we haven't seen Rochester football-wise. That's a very interesting-looking sectional. So,
And we're already measuring the distance from here to Elwood just in case.
right. I know that drive very well. Made that quite a few times going down to Frankton when Town and Country did their state tournament down there and a few years ago. So, yeah. As long as I don't have to go to Seeger again. I mean, nothing against Seeger, but boy, that was a drive. That was a long drive.
And just amazing, Rochester does not compete with Eastern High School in just about anything.
Yeah, they will now.
They will now. They're in a sectional with them in football, in girls volleyball, girls basketball, basketball, and boys soccer.
Which part of that, it was kind of strange because, Eastern was talked about as maybe becoming one of the new TRC members before Northwestern decided to join. So there was some talk there at different times that they may become a TRC member, but that didn't materialize. But boy, Rochester's going to have a lot of opportunities to compete against the Eastern Comets coming up.
We have some girls' discus results. The winner was Addison Beers of Triton, 106 and 6 inches. Betty Shepard from Valley, she throws the discus, and she was second, 95 feet 3 inches. And in third place from Rochester, Ashlyn Wayant at 77 feet 11 inches.
Okay.
And in fourth, I have Kelsey Cox from Valley at 75 feet 8.5 inches. And meanwhile, the Valley in a they don't play Columbia City in many sporting events, but that's something they're going to have to get used to.
Mm-hmm.
Columbia City now in 3A, and Valley's in a volleyball sectional with them, in a girls basketball sectional, and a boys basketball sectional.
And Columbia City girls, boy, they look to be pretty good next year. So that'll be a big challenge for Coach Kindig and his team. And
their point guard is that Addison Baxter. Is that her name?
Yep.
She'll be a senior next year.
Yep, Addison Baxter. Yeah, she's gonna probably play D1 basketball somewhere. She's pretty good. And Rochester, volleyball. Pretty much the same sectional that they had for girls and boys basketball, but one team that's in the volleyball sectional that's not in the basketball sectionals, and that's the Southwood Knights, of course, coming off of a 1A state championship last year, and they're gonna be very formidable for a few years.
Yeah,
probably a lot of years actually with
They had
Coach Finnicle.
Right, they had a wonderful freshman class last year and won the state championship.
Yeah. But they move up to 2A in volleyball, so they'll be in the same sectional with the Rochester. So, and then of course, way too early to predict, but who will be hosting some of these sectionals and where these teams will be playing at is always kind of a fun thing to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine Columbia City will want to host.
I would say, yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Wawasee wanted to host. And I wouldn't be surprised if West Noble wanted to host. So. Underway in the boys' 100 meters. Wade Jones trying to make up some ground. Triton is going to win it with Jones in second, and Valley took third as well. I think Rochester was fourth. Was that Jewel of Rochester who was in fourth?
Well, you don't see that very often. That was a really nice run there. Do we know who that Triton runner was?
No. No. But... We think that was Javen May of Triton. He's a senior. He ran 11.69 at the Apache Invite, which was at Wabash this past weekend.
Yeah, that makes sense. I recognized that name as soon as you said it, but that would definitely make sense.
Yeah, that race was won by a Wabash sophomore on his home track, Colson Kugler. Kugler's just a sophomore. He beat Wade Jones in the TRC 100 last year. Of course, no rematch this year because Valley's not in the TRC anymore, but I saw Kugler ran last year. He's very good. So for May to be kind of on Kugler's heels, that was a good sign.
Did you see who that was that just jumped for Rochester in the long jump?
I did not.
Okay.
There was a Valley runner. There was a Valley girls runner who was injured in the 100 meters, and I hope she's okay. She's walking in the infield now, but she's needing some help. Looks like she hurt her hamstring. I didn't see who that was. Boys JV 100 race underway.
This is third and final call for the girls' 1,600-meter run, second call for the boys' 1,600-meter run, and first call for the girls' 400-meter relay.
Girls 1,600 meters about to start, and again, this is one where we're kind of wondering how Coach Helt and Coach Gudeman are going to play this with the conference meet coming up on Friday. I imagine some kids are like, man, finally we get good weather. Now you're telling me to take a seat?
Right. I haven't got to run in, so long, and I just want to run a race.
I think I see that's Cadence Bradley is at the start line for Rochester, and that's Bailey Bussard from Valley.
I mean, it's pretty much a guarantee, right? The weather's going to be bad for the conference race. Isn't that the way it normally works?
Except last year it was phenomenal.
Was it?
Yeah, and that was after years of it just being just beyond horrible.
Yeah.
It was at Mechaniqua for 2 straight years. It was just incredibly cold. I mean, it went from like humid to thunderstorm to lightning delay to freezing in a span of like 2 hours.
Wasn't that the night when it was like 12:30 before everything wrapped up?
Right, because of the lightning delay.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then it was bad the next year. And then the first year was at Wabash. It was really ugly weather. It was like low 50s and drizzly.
Mm-hmm.
I think the forecast for this Friday is like low 70s, but kind of overcast. So,
well, that would be
an improvement over what we typically have.
We're due for some good weather, that's for sure.
I'll be curious to see, are we going to have girls and boys run the 1,600 at the same time, or are we going to have 2 separate 1,600-meter races here?
Looks like we're going to do them separate.
Underway in the girls' 1,600 meters. Bailey Bussard had a great year in cross country for Valley. Made it to regional. And I think she broke her set PR in the sectional and broke that PR in the regional. So, I mean, she saved her 2 best races of the year for last.
It's the way to do it.
Yeah, I think now she is Dalen's cousin, I believe. Pretty sure of that.
Results of the girls 100-meter hurdles. In 4th place, Strasser from Rochester. In 3rd place, Doran from Rochester. In 2nd place, Albright from Triton. And in 1st place, with time of 16.44, Shepherd from Valley. Results of the boys 110-meter hurdles. In 4th place, Placencia from Rochester. In 3rd place, Crab from Valley. In 2nd place, Barge from Triton. And in 1st place,
Going to jump off of the 1600 here for a minute. McKenna Jackson getting ready to do her pole vault. I don't know what height they're at. I can't tell from here, Val, but first I've seen her pole vault here.
Right, and that's always the sometimes the issue if you're.
Oh.
She had the height.
Yeah, definitely.
Easily.
Cleared it easily, but the pole wasn't able to get that cleared, and the crossbar, unfortunately, so knocks that one down. You know, there's a kind of with my daughter going through pole vaulting, and I kind of tinkered with it a little bit in junior high, but there is a lot of different things that you got to try and do in that little short amount of time, and it's a tough one, and it's hard to it's hard to figure it out because it's not like you can I'm going to do this first part of it and I'm going to do the second part of it, but putting it all together is just it's a very difficult thing to do. Trying to shoot yourself over a bar that's 9+ feet in the air
and then trying to make it seem seamless.
Yeah. And then something like that where you just don't get your bar cleared away and it comes and knocks the crossbar down. So it's a challenging event for sure.
Baseball update, Wabash leads Rochester 2-1, bottom of the 3rd. Softball update, Rochester leads Wabash 5-0, top of the 5th.
Okay.
Rochester down 2-1, but they have the bases loaded with nobody out.
Well, hopefully they can make some hay of that. We've seen, a few times there games that we've done where they've had opportunities that kind of didn't really capitalize on.
Yeah.
So
Rochester drew Lewis Cass in softball. They drew Manchester in baseball.
Yeah.
And now that baseball game is tied 2-2, and Rochester still has the bases loaded with nobody out. But yeah, Rochester. It's interesting that Rochester drew Manchester just a couple days after a really tough loss to the Squires.
Mm-hmm.
Lost 9-5. They were winning that game 3-0 after the second inning.
Yeah, it's a neat dynamic because obviously both teams are going to be doing rematches. We just haven't seen the first one from the softball yet. Is where they play like 5 days before the sectional.
Yeah.
So they'll get a chance to see each other twice within a week, and
right. And if it's a meaningful game for, right now Lewis Cass look like they're going to be in the middle of the softball conference title picture.
Yeah.
Will Rochester see Emma Fitzhugh twice in 5 days?
Right. Boy, she just had such a great sectional last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they came out of nowhere in that sectional, and it's pretty impressive. So we'll see. As there's still quite a bit of season to go. Obviously, it's kind of one of those things. They do the draw so early for softball and baseball that you start talking postseason, but it's like, yeah, we still got 3 weeks to go. Another look here at McKenna doing pole vault, and she's going to, I think she got stopped there, got the brakes on before she hit anything, so I don't think that one's going to count, so she's going to give her another try here.
How much do pole vaulters they have to consider the wind as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean, tonight's not bad, but we were at Carroll in March, you know, and it was just, yeah.
Yeah.
It was windy enough that I thought they weren't even going to do the event, honestly. But, yeah, it's, you know, a headwind or a crosswind or, you know, tailwind. I mean, there's lots of things that go into that as far as where you're setting your uprights at. And
yeah, I was at Logansport on Saturday. There was this really big headwind for the sprinters. I mean, really tough.
Not sure there. McKenna did another run and didn't take that jump. I wonder if she kind of not getting the feel there for it or something here early tonight. Good finish here on the mile.
Yeah, good kick by Bailey Bussard, and she's going to win this race. She and Triton were really kind of in a duel there, and then Bailey turned it on with a nice kick. And again, Bailey's somebody who runs with Chesney Miller all the time in practice.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just being exposed to, I think, Chesney's work ethic really helped Bailey out. I hope Cadence Bradley's okay. Seems to be grabbing her leg.
Third and final call for the boys' 1,600-meter run. Second call for the girls' 400-meter relay. And first call.
So the boys will be up next. Any who should we watch out for here in this race, Val?
Leandro Javier is a kid who, again, he's really young. He's a freshman, but again, he's kind of, you talk about Bailey Bussard being exposed to Chesney. You know, Leandro is a kid who's been kind of exposed to a lot of really, you know, the Rochester kids who have good work ethic. So, you know, again, he's really kind of an inexperienced runner. He's a freshman who didn't really run a lot in middle school. So curious to see how he does today. On the boys' side, Bailey Grant has run 4:45. He ran 4:45 at LaPorte, got beat by a LaPorte kid, Hunter Quadlin, who ran 4:37. So again, that's a meet with a lot of region teams.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of good region runners usually in that meet, and I'm kind of wondering if that brought out the best in Grant. I mean, 4:45 is a really good time. Obviously, if you want to move on and advance in the state tournament, probably you'd like to get under 4:40.
Yeah.
Results of
that's not a bad time there, and less than ideal conditions up at LaPorte. So
Triton
yeah.
and Dunwoody from Rochester. In third place, Haney from Valley. In second place, Snyder from Valley. And in first place with a jump of 5 feet even, Beers from Triton.
I think that was Addison Veers who won the girls' high jump from Triton. Addison Veers going to play volleyball at UIndy.
Oh, is she?
Yep.
Okay. If I knew that, I forgot it.
Results of the girls 100-meter dash. In fourth place, Rude from Rochester. In third place, Chuck from Triton. In second place, Hammond from Triton. And in first place, with time of 13.41 seconds, Woodruff from Valley.
And that was Woodruff, the freshman from Valley, who won the girls 100 race earlier. She looked really strong. I hadn't seen her run before. I was impressed by her, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Valley with a lot of good young sprinters on the girls' side. So far in this boys' race, it looks like Reese Johnson
Any boys high
and
jumpers
Chris
who have not recorded the high
Marquez
jump
from
area,
Valley.
please do so now.
Johnson leads, Marquez right on his heels, and then it looks like Eli Sturk coming up on Marquez's heels, and then Lane Schenk is in fourth place. Looks like Sturk kind of making his move now on lap 2. Trying to maybe push the pace a little bit. Looks like Sturk, Johnson, and Marquez are 1, 2, 3 halfway through the race. Lane Schenk of Rochester in fourth.
Results of the boys 100-meter dash. In fourth place, Jewel from Rochester. In third place, Omandi from Valley. In second place, Jones from Valley. And in first place with a time of 10.75 seconds, May from Triton.
Spot you're in, but the other side of the pole vault pit or the high jump pit.
Yeah, Steve, that was Javen May from Triton who won the 100 meters on the boys' side.
Okay.
They said 10.75. I wouldn't get carried away with the time. We're hand-timed here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if that's legit, that's a good time.
Yeah. Reese Johnson really running well on that third lap. Bell lap, and Reese has opened up a little bit of a lead here.
Yeah, that's good. Give you a little shot of that back stretch there.
Okay, girls 100 meters. Olivia Root of Rochester was fourth, 14.28. Hosanna Chupp of Triton was third, 14.22. Lydia Hammond of Triton was second, 13.67. And the winner was Isabella Woodruff of Valley, as we mentioned, 13.41. Girls high jump. The winner was, I said Veers. We had the wrong Veers. It was Avery Veers who won.
Oh, her younger sister.
Yeah.
She's a freshman or a sophomore?
I want to say sophomore, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
Avery
that's
Veers
close.
went 5 feet.
Okay.
Second place was Carly Snyder from Valley. As Reese Johnson crosses the finish line first, with Sturk and Marquez taking second and third, and Triton will take fourth.
Okay, Caleb, you can turn back around to the pole vault or whatever's going on there. Stay there, though. So fourth place in the girls' high jump was Addison Veers at 4.4.
Third place was Claire Haney from Valley at 4.6.
Final call for girls.
Second place was Carly Snyder from Valley at 4.10.
Boys 400-meter relay. And first
Excuse
call
me.
for the girls 400-meter
Second place was Carly Snyder of Valley. She went 5 feet also. First place, Avery Veers of Triton at 5 feet. Avery Veers got 5 feet on her second attempt, and Carly got 5 feet on her third attempt. So that's why Veers is the winner. And then they both went 0 for 3 at 5.1. So Avery Veers the winner, and Snyder second.
Caleb, you want to put your camera on like a backstretch shot? Kind of lock it there, and then go and take the other camera, put it across, like straight across the track and off the front stretch shot.
Final results in the boys 110 hurdles. In fourth place, Carlos Plasencia of Rochester at 19.72. Third place from Valley, Colton Crabb, 18.53. Colton had a great year on the wrestling mat, Steve. In second place from Triton, Caden Large at 17.74, and the winner was Harrison Dunwoody, winning on senior night in 16.75. Girls 100 hurdles. Fourth place was from Rochester, Rylan Strasser at 19.19. Third place from Rochester, Kyra Doran, 17.66. Both Strasser and Doran have sisters on the softball team. That's interesting. Second place was Addison Albright of Triton, 17.3, and the winner was Betty Shepard from Valley in 16.44. So I think we are
across the track and then face it towards the front stretch.
Girls 4x1 relay coming up. Rochester ran a 54.75 at Tipton the other night. Valley finished third at the Jimtown Classic. Underway. Pretty good pass from 1 to 2 by Rochester. Another good pass. Oh, a rough exchange. From 3 to 4, Audrey Wagner trying to track down the Triton runner. Triton's going to win, though.
Yeah, just not enough gas there to get caught up, but that was a really good run up until that last exchange.
Yeah, 1 to 2 was good, 2 to 3 was good, 3 to 4 was sloppy.
Final call for boys 400-meter relay. Second call for girls 400-meter dash.
In fact, I'm not even.
Call for boys 400-meter dash.
I'd be curious to know if that was a legal handoff from 3 to 4 because it was so.
I thought you wanted me to face this one towards the other camera. Like where I put the other one.
No, go on the east side of the pit. start-finish line, or the finish line.
3 and 4, go quickly, guys. Ladies, hang right here. Oh, hold on. We weren't done yet.
Actually, if you want to just kind of stay on that one, you get like the start of this and do that from there. I like where the other one is.
Right.
Are we gonna have a what's going on here? The official in the red shirt went over and talked with the flag person, and I think they were talking about whether Rochester's pass was legal.
Mm-hmm.
Boys 4x100. We're going to see one of the seniors here, Braden Crom. And we believe that Maddox Jewell, Clarence Garrett, and Phoenix Sutton are the other three.
On your marks. Go Triton, let's go!
Valley was second at the Jimtown meet the other night, 45.70. The Valley runs their race, and they pass it the way they usually do. This should be their race to win.
Set. Go blue!
I think you might be right there, Val.
Some nice passes by Valley.
Oh, man. They've done this a time or two.
Yeah. Wade Jones has a lead, and nobody's catching him, though Harrison Dunwoody is giving a good effort, and he'll get second place for Rochester.
Wade looks like he's gliding.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just so smooth. That's one of the things as you're running, you want that head to be kind of still, and boy, he does a great job.
Yeah, and that's not something that happens just
Final call for
overnight.
girls
It's a
400
lot of
meter
work
dash.
involved in that
Second
night.
call for boys 400 meter dash, and first call for the girls 300 meter hurdles.
Casey Wise is the assistant coach at Valley, who works with the sprinters, and he does a lot. They do a lot of block work and a lot of work on form. He's
Start line, Chris.
final results in the girls 1,600 meters. In fourth place from Rochester, Cadence Bradley, 7:25.71. Third place from Valley, McKenna Lau, 6:38.41. Second place from Triton, Rory Heckerman, 6:33.03. And the winner was Bailey Bussert from Valley, 6:30.56. Boys 1,600 meters. In fourth place from Triton, Jaden Heckerman, and his time was 5:25.85. Third place from Valley, Christopher Marquez. In 5:22 flat. Second place from Valley, Eli Sturk. So Sturk ran a really nice race. He kind of pushed the pace early, ran 5:21 and finished in second. And the winner was Reese Johnson from Rochester in 5:13:47. And we have the girls 4x1 results, and Triton won it in 54.28 seconds, and Rochester was DQ'd. And Valley was scratched.
So they did determine they were outside of the exchange zone.
Yeah, with Wade, what's so impressive is like a combination of like he's smooth but he's powerful at the same time.
Mm-hmm. The ones that don't look like they're running hard, but they're running really fast. Those are the ones that their form is doing their body is able to maximize their capabilities. And boy, he doesn't look like he's struggling. He just flows. That's impressive.
Softball update, Rochester leads Wabash 9-0, top of the 6th. Baseball update, Rochester leads Wabash 5-2 in the 4th inning.
Oh, wow. So they did make some hay there with that bases loaded situation.
Yeah, Zebras were down 2-0, scored 5 in the bottom of the 3rd.
I mean, big couple of games here for both squads, obviously, being 1 and 2 in the conference going into tonight's games. So if they could both pick up wins here tonight and tomorrow against Wabash and Mechanical, I mean, it's going to definitely turn around. They're still long shot, but
Rochester only has 1 hit in that game, but they've drawn 5 walks. And Wabash has committed 3 errors. It's now Wabash just scored, so it's 5-3 now, top of the 4th. All right, girls 400 meters is underway. Chesney Miller's run 102 this year. And Chesney running by herself here. She's going to win this easily. And that is Wise in second. So Valley going to go 1-2. Triton third. And then it's going to be Callaway in fourth. Well, I like to see what Wise's time was. I like to see what both of their times were.
Yeah, I don't think either one of them is going to be feeling too bad about that time.
Yeah.
Boys 300-meter hurdles. Rochester athletes immediately after the boys 400-meter dash, please place the hurdles on the track for the girls 300-meter hurdles.
Yeah, that was something I talked about with Ryan Hutt last year. He talked to, it was at the conference meet, and Mechanical won both the girls and the boys conference meets, and he goes, one thing you notice about Mechanical is everybody starts off there running the 400 meters. Because then if you can run the 400, you can do just about anything else. You can it's not a whole lot of training to be able to bump up to the 800.
Results of the boys' shot put. In third place, Smith from Valley.
Yeah, just do another lap, right?
Right.
It's just that easy.
Right.
Just sprint as fast as you can twice around the track.
Right, and then you can have the strength to run the 200 or even the 100.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my guy. Trying 400 with Connor from Triton.
Yeah, the 400 though. I mean, you talk like it's something easy. It's not.
Oh, it's not at all.
Not. That is the worst. I was just thinking as Chesney came around that third turn there, it's like that is when your legs are just burning, and you just feel like you're not even in your body. It's kind of surreal, honestly. It's a neat feeling, but it's also painful. Is that a Mr. Parker sighting I see here for Valley?
I believe that is correct. Quickly, boys shot put results in fourth from Rochester, Xavier Vance, 40 feet 2.5. Third place, Phil Smith Valley, 41 5.5. Second place, Rochester, Tyler Reese, 42.7. And the winner from Valley, Dalton Albert, 44 feet 2 inches.
All right, standards, your starting line, please. On your marks.
Go Triton, let's go, guys.
Boys 400 from Rochester, Maddox Jewell was fourth. Third place from Tippecanoe Valley, Owen Omandi, the freshman. And second place, Ray Jones of Valley. And in first place, Javen May of Triton, as we mentioned earlier. Boys 400 underway. Boy, they're running 3 wide out of the backstretch. That's a Triton runner running really well. Parker trying to keep up. He will take second, and then Rochester goes 3-4.
Come on up to the green arrow so the timers can come to you. Number 1.
At this time, all Rochester athletes, please help move the hurdles onto the track for the girls 300 meter hurdles. The hurdles go on the red marks on the track on the low red tape setting on the hurdle. That's the tape setting on the same side of the hurdle as the yellow marks.
Caleb, you want to get a wide shot of that, like zoom out, go left a little bit.
This is third and final call for the girls 300 meter hurdles. Second call for boys 300 meter hurdles. And first call for the girls 800 meter run. Again, all Rochester athletes, please help put hurdles on the track at this time.
Down a little. Caleb, down a little. Okay, lock that one in and then go back over to the other camera. So we'll take a quick break here, Val, while they're doing the hurdles, and thank some of our sponsors here as we're coming to you live tonight from Rochester High School with the track meet versus Tippecanoe Valley and Triton. We'll be back here in just a minute as we get the hurdles. Welcome back here to beautiful Rochester High School, and boy, Val, beautiful night here for some track. It's been a great meet so far, and you know, we don't get a chance to do a lot of track meets. We try and do one every year. We did one last year, and the weather wasn't real good. We did a pretty early season track meet. I think it was against John Glenn, and weather hasn't been great this spring, so tonight is what a blessing we've got here tonight. Just some really nice weather for a track meet. Got Val with me, obviously, doing commentary.
We got the boys' discus going on behind us. I'm really looking forward to this one with Mason Heisey and some of the big boys from Valley.
Yeah.
Give a shout out to Phil Smith. What a year. Phil Smith and Cameron Mason are two of their throwers, and they had incredible years on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't know we kind of knew about them, but hadn't really had a lot of experience, but they were both terrific and helped Valley to an undefeated regular season in football, and really good throwers as well.
Yeah. Well,
and, you know, Mason Heisey is a kid who really kind of took off this year on the football field, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of year he has next year.
Mm-hmm. You talk about Valley football, I bet they're going to be glad to see the new sectional alignments, as they're not going to be in the sectional with those Indianapolis powerhouses that they were in the last couple of years. So I think they're going to be, I mean, obviously it's not going to be easy no matter where you go, but that was extremely difficult over the last couple of years.
Right. Here are the other 7 teams in Valley's football sectional. Angola, coached by former Culver coach Andy Thomas.
Yeah.
Fairfield. Fort Wayne, Fairfield with a new coach. Coach Stoner left Jimtown and went to Fairfield.
Mm-hmm.
Fort Wayne Concordia. Garrett, the Railroaders are in Valley's football sectional. Lakeland. West Noble. They had a great year this past year. Coach Mayhorter, coach at West Noble, very good coach. And Woodland is in Valley's football sectional.
Okay. So it's not, like you said, it's not easy. Nothing's going to be easy, but the fact that Woodland is a 3A school now, I mean, I can remember 10 years ago they were a small 1A school.
Yeah.
They've just grown and grown and grown over there.
So Valley, the westernmost school in their sectional.
Seems like they're always the something most. Either the southernmost there for a while. They were about the northernmost last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
If they would have went, anywhere else, they would have been the easternmost. They're not in the middle of anybody, I guess, as far as sectionals go for football. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Of course, Rochester is gonna have a lot of new new opponents in their sectional this year as well. I'm sure they're not going to be sad to see that they're not in the same sectional with LCC. So
yeah, that's pretty rare for your football sectional. For you to be in a football sectional with 7 new teams, all 7 are new.
All 7 are new, yeah,
including the 4 CIC schools: Alexandria, Eastbrook, Elwood, and
Tipton.
Yeah, Tipton's in there.
They're not
CIC,
CIC,
yeah.
They're Hoosier. Yeah, I mean, and talk about perennial powerhouses. Eastbrook is always right up there, and Alexandria seems like they've kind of turned a corner. They have, yeah. They've got a better program going down there than they've had in a while. So, but. Yeah, looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, and Rochester, you're the other 7 schools: Alexandria, Blackford, Eastern. Let me start over again. Alexandria, Blackford, Eastbrook, Eastern, Elwood, Tipton, Wabash.
Mm-hmm.
So Alexandria, Blackford, Eastbrook, and Elwood are all in the CIC. So those schools know each other really well, but none of them know the Zebras really well. Rochester played Eastbrook in a sectional game here in 2018. Other than Wabash, they're the only one. They're the only team that Rochester's played in the last 6 years.
start. Just go ahead and stay on. All right, so looks like we're getting ready to go here with the 300 hurdles. Good shot there of the starting line on the backside. Let's thank Caleb and Chris for helping out on cameras tonight. They're bouncing back and forth. We've got 3 cameras and 2 kids helping out, so been bouncing back and forth. Don't really have Cade Johnson, but he's helping out with the theater, doing stuff inside for the upcoming, I think it's a middle school concert that they're getting ready for. So he's been working with Mrs. McMillan and helping out with that.
Shepard beginning to pull away here. I think her steps got a little tangled early in the race, but boy, she's pulling away here and running a really good race. And Shepard will win it. Triton second. Wagner from Rochester is going to finish in third. We get a battle for fourth. And the runner from Triton's going to take it over Rylan Strasser, who will finish in fifth.
Rochester athletes at this time, the hurdles need to be adjusted.
I'd be curious to know what Betty thought of her race there.
Hurdles at the higher of the 2 red tape settings. That setting is located on the same side of the
her footwork might have been just a little bit off, but again, Betty is so strong the second half of the race, and she just pulled away anyway.
Yeah, you can tell there was a couple sets where she had kind of those choppy steps because she was trying to get her footwork down, and
first call for the boys, 800
you know, obviously hurdles is tough when you're doing sprints. The footwork is so important, but when you're trying to run a 300 and get your steps down and do a hurdle, that's a tough race.
Yeah. We have some boys pole vault results. In fourth place from Triton, Ben McFarland at 8.6. In third place from Triton, Caden Bradley, 9.6. In second place from Rochester, Trevor Wally, 10.6. And the winner from Triton, Jacob Hudson, 11 feet even.
A good number.
Girls pole vault. Only 2 girls cleared a height. Jocelyn Faulkner of Triton was second at 7.6, and Riley Bamish of Triton was the winner at 8 feet. McKenna Jackson went 0 for 3 at 8, passed all the way to 8.6, and then went 0 for 3, so she didn't clear a height. So Triton goes 1-2. Triton going to win the boys' 300 hurdles, with Valley taking second, Triton third, and Rochester fourth.
At this time, Rochester athletes, please remove the hurdles from the track and move them to the rocks on the outside of the track. This is third and final call for the girls' 800-meter run, second call for the boys' 800-meter run, and first call for the girls' 200-meter dash.
All right, we'll take another quick break here as they clean the hurdles off the track and thank some of our sponsors, and come back with more track and field action here at Rochester High School Barnhart Field. Tonight's track and field action between the Rochester Zebras, the Tippecanoe Valley Vikings, and the Triton Trojans. Beautiful night for some track running and some field events here, and our company did want to say, so definitely gonna miss them, but gonna be interesting to see what they do in their careers. So we're underway here, 800, I believe, right, Val?
Girls 800 meters is underway. Again, Callaway has run 2:49 in this, so it's a sign that she's really getting some foot speed in this event. I do not see Chesney Miller out on the track. She's certainly capable of running a really, really good 800, but she ran the 4x8 relay earlier, so I think that was probably, I don't think Coach Moriarty needs to see a whole lot more. Again,
Right.
Valley has another meet at home on Tuesday, coming up this Thursday against Caston and Culver Academy. And I'm guessing Culver Academy has somebody really good in the 800. So now Callaway and runner from Triton are going 1-2. Chandler in fourth. And again, the top four in each event, each individual event are scoring runners. Final lap.
Did everybody's watches start this time? Everybody's watch started? Got it? Okay. I'll have them walk down here.
Results of the boys bowl. In fourth place, McFarland from Triton. In third place, Bradley from
Allison
Triton.
Callaway leading by
In
about,
second
3
place,
meters?
Walling from Rochester. And in first place with a vault of 11 feet, Hudson from Triton.
Probably closer to 10. If you're going to go meters,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a sizable lead. How's that?
I'm trying to prepare myself for the Olympics coming up, Steve.
And in first place with a vault of 8 feet, Bennett from Triton.
I mean, the whole metric system is really great to use, but when you're so used to doing the standard measurement, it's hard to do that translation in your head.
Good kick by Allison Callaway. She's going to win this race by about 15 meters or so. And Brooklyn Chandler was showing a nice kick as well. She's going to finish in third.
Stay in order for us so the timers can get your name.
Yeah, they've really grown over the last couple of years. I can remember them coming down to Pioneer a few years ago, and not really having that big of a squad. So they're doing really well as well. So
Boys 800 underway. Bailey in second, Johnson in third. And I believe that's Marquez in fourth. And Rochester graduated a state finalist in R.J. Karenko
yeah,
from last year's team in this event. And RJ was one of those kids who just got gradually better and better and better over time. And I think ran, a 157 at state?
yeah, really, really strong senior year for sure.
Yeah. Just a really good second lap here by Bailey. He really kind of measured the Valley runner, wanted to stay on his heels through one lap, and he wound up he's going to take this race with plenty to spare. We got a battle for second place between Johnson and Marquez, and Reese Johnson is going to take second, and Valley will go 3-4. I believe that was Marquez and Nunez to go 3-4 for Valley. So a little bit of tactics there by Grant Bailey. Along with Doran, so a whole bunch of freshmen in this race, we think. And the senior Dunwoody from Rochester, I think, is going to be in this one. Underway. That was a really good start by the Valley runner. Yeah, that was wise. She got off to a great start. I mean, she got off to a great start. She ran a great curve. Doran trying to keep up with her, but it is Wise who wins it. Doran second. And sometimes you'll even see kids come up to the coach and say, hey, can I do this race without blocks? And it's like, no, you can't. You can't run as fast. Okay, boys, 200 coming up. Look for Jewel from Rochester.
We got a B race here for girls.
Okay.
First.
Well, Jewel, and of course Wade Jones is the defending regional champion. But Omandi is a freshman on the Valley Boys team who is, I mean, he's running the low 25s already.
Yeah, shout out to Grandpa Roy Vandermark. Ooh. That's tough. Valley runner goes down about 10 meters short of the line there. Seems to be okay. Probably got some asphalt in the knees after that one, but seems to be all right.
Yeah, Valley third, Triton fourth.
Yeah.
Girls 800 in fourth place from Valley. Kaya Rabich, R-A-B-I-T-S-C-H. Kaya was fourth in 258.8. In third place from Rochester, Brooklyn Chandler, 253.5. In second place.
Here we go, 200, Val.
200 underway in the boys. And that is Jones running a great curve. May of Triton is in second, but it is Wade Jones who will get the win. May second, Valley third, and Rochester fourth. So again, Grant ran a really tactical race. Again, he's run 2:07 before, so I think there was a little bit of strategy to his race. Reese Johnson's time was 2:20.75. And that was, I said Sturk. That was Nunez from Valley, who was in fourth at 2:22.9. JV Boys 200. That is Bogger from Rochester.
Couple of the Valley girls trying to make sure they stayed down in the infield, but they needed to get across the infield apparently, so they were doing the old military crawl across the infield.
Is that Lane Shank running a JV 200?
Yes, it is. It's senior night, Val. What do you want to run, Lane? I want to run a 200. Let's run the 200.
Yeah, he absolutely deserves it. 3,200 is underway. We've got, I don't think we have anybody from Valley in either gender running in this one. We've got one Rochester boy, and that's Javier, and two Triton girls and two Triton boys.
300-meter hurdles. In fourth place, Faulkner from Triton. In
We have a final score from baseball. Rochester has defeated Wabash 6-4. Zebras now 2-2 in the TRC, and I believe Wabash is also 2-2. Wabash had runners at second and third at the end of the game, but Gavin Young, with a strikeout, gets the strikeout to end the game with the tying run in scoring position.
Oh, good job, Gavin. Closed her out.
Talk about a weird line score. Rochester 6 runs on 1 hit with 4 errors.
Rochester had 4 errors or Wabash had 4 errors?
Well, both teams had 4 errors.
Both
now
teams
that you
had
ask,
4 errors.
yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Wabash pitchers walked 6, and the 4 errors. Reinertz had 10. Reinertz pitched 5 innings. He allowed 2 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned runs, 3 walks. He hit 4 batters, and he struck out 10. The stuff was moving, it sounds like.
Yeah. Maybe not always where he wanted it to, but
He got the win.
yeah, that's the big thing, right?
Right. So Rochester and Wabash could meet again, or if they were to meet again, well, it would be in the sectional final. They're in opposite halves of the bracket.
Right.
Wabash got a bye. They'll play LaVille. That will be a really good game on that Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, Wabash-LaVille.
Yeah, that's a good LaVille team.
Yeah.
Results of the girls 400 meters. In fourth place, Callaway from Rochester. In third place, Heckman from Triton. In second place, Wise from Valley. And in first place, with a time of 1 minute, 0.5 seconds, Miller from Valley.
Would they say Miller had a 1 minute, 0.5?
1 minute, I think they said 1 minute, 0.15.
0.15?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Results of the boys 400 meters. In fourth place, Gating from Rochester. In third place, Garrett from Rochester. In second place, Harper from Valley. And in first place, with a time of 52.25 seconds, Quintana from Triton.
Almost would have won the boys'
Results of
race.
the girls shot put. In
Is that a
fourth place,
52 for the
Durger
boys?
from Valley.
Mm-hmm.
In third place, Cox from Valley. In second place, Weant from Rochester. And in first place with a throw of 40 feet 6 inches, Beers from Triton.
What's going on, Chris?
Trying to figure that out. Jumping in and out of focus.
Okay, boys 300 hurdle results. Fourth place from Rochester, Harrison Dunwoody, 47.62. Third place from Triton, Caden Bradley, 45.9. Second place from Tippecanoe Valley, Brayson Smith at 45.25. And the winner was Caden Large of Triton, 44.38. Caden Large he's a very good, valuable role player on that basketball team of Jason Groves. He's a good runner as well. 300 hurdles girls. Fourth place from Triton, Jocelyn Faulkner. Her time was 54.91. Third place, Rochester, Audrey Wagner at 52.37. Second place was Triton's Addison Albright in 50.91. And the winner was Betty Shepard at 48.87, so she put the thumbs down, but there are a lot of girls who would be dancing in the streets after running a 48.8. But again, hand-timed, but still not bad. Not bad, really good. Looks like long jump is done for the night, so I haven't seen any results yet, but we should have those pretty soon. I think all the throwing is done for the night. So we're halfway through the boys' race here in the 3,200.
Get a switch or something.
Again, there are 5 runners on the track, and 4 of them are from Triton.
Everything on auto.
Okay, so Chesney's dad has just tweeted and then tagged me. Just said that Chesney broke the school record in the 400.
Did she?
1 minute .65.
0.65.
Yeah.
Okay. That's another record for Chesney. Wow.
So she broke the cross-country record to the point where it's basically the Chesney Miller, which has got like maybe the top 10 times all time.
Yeah. She broke her record several times, yeah.
In fact, that's probably a conservative estimate. It's probably closer to 15 or 20. And again, Chesney's somebody who would go through one of Chris Kindig's basketball practices, which isn't exactly a walk in the park, and then go and spend another hour on the treadmill after practice is over. I mean, you want to know what kind of dedication it takes. It's that kind of dedication. I mean, during the middle of the winter. Javier from Rochester. 2,400 meters down, 800 to go.
Results of the boys discus. In 4th place, Albert from Valley. In 3rd place, Pinder from Rochester. In 2nd place, Smith from Valley. And in 1st place with a throw of 140 feet, 4.5 inches, Heisey from Rochester.
All right, we just overheard them say that Mason Heisey of Rochester won the boys discus. 140 and 4.5 inches.
Nice.
Boys 4x1 relay. Valley won it. Jones, Parker, Omandi, and Black, 44.84. Rochester was second at 45. Flad, Crom, Jewell, Garrett, and Dunwoody. As we reach the bell lap in the boys 3,200. Girls 400, Allison Calloway of Rochester was fourth, 111.75. In third place from Triton, Morgan Heckman, 108.12. Second place from Valley, Hadley Wise, a really good time, 102.97. And then Chesney Miller of Valley is the winner. They list her time here as 1 minute .5. So it's either 1 minute .5 or 1 minute .65, or regardless, that's a heck of a time. And sectionals coming up in 2 weeks. Javier coming down the back stretch. Yeah, he's really popular with his teammates. He's a fun kid. Boys 400, fourth place. Grant Bailey of Rochester in 58.06. Third place, Clarence Garrett of Rochester, 56.93. Second place, Nate Parker from Valley, 53.85. And the winner was Isaac Quintana of Triton. Nice run, 52.25. Around 52 at the sectional, that should get you to regional. At least you'll have a chance. Girls shot put in fourth place from Valley, Haley Durf, 29.7.5. In third place from Valley, Kelsey Cox, 31.5. In second place from Rochester, Ashlyn Wayant. Ashlyn threw it 31.9. And the winner was Addison Veers of Triton, 40 feet 6 inches. So sister won the high jump. And she won the shot put, 40 feet 6 inches. If you go in the 40s, you're probably at least going to regional, and if you're going to have a really good chance to make it to state. Obviously, you got Gwen Howard, who looms over everybody, and of course, everybody will see her at the Plymouth sectional. And boys discus. Fourth place, Dalton Albert from Valley. His throw was 112 feet 1 inch. Third place from Rochester, Liam Pinder. Liam 118, 10.5. Second place from Valley, Phil Smith. $119 and 2 inches, and the winner, Mason Heisey, 140 and 4.5. Again, Mason threw the discus 4 times tonight. His fourth best throw would have won it.
So if you get 4 places that way?
That's the way it should be, right?
I don't know, because then you could say it would happen the opposite way sometimes, and you probably don't want that to happen either. So.
Yeah. His fourth row is 122.7, 128.2.5, 144.5. That was the actual winner. Then his fourth row was 133.1.5.
And in first place with a jump of 20 feet 1 inch, Callahan from Triton.
Still have runners out on the track, finishing up on the 3,200. Coming up next, the 4x4 relay. I have not seen boys high jump. They are done, but we just haven't seen the results yet. I was looking forward to seeing how Bobby Burke from Valley did. Of course, Valley had a high jumper in Dawson Perkins, who graduated 2 years ago. He's jumping at IU East down in Richmond.
Yeah.
Dawson, a regional champion in the high jump.
Valley A and 4, Triton A and 5, Rochester A and 6. The Triton B team is going to be in 3.
That one was at Royal Center, I believe, right? Yesterday's game was at Culver.
Yes. Yeah, Pioneer walked it off, so they were at home. We have a baseball final score. Caston has defeated Winnemac 10-0 in 5 innings.
Really?
So yesterday, Winnemac beat Caston 2-1 in a nail-biter, but today it was all Caston 10-0 in 5 innings. And not only was it a shutout, it was a no-hitter for Pete Duval.
Oh, way to go, Pete.
I bet Pete was ready to go today. He committed an error yesterday that cost the Comets a run in a game they lost 2-1. I would imagine Pete was really, really ready to pitch today. And yeah, that's good to see. And again, he was up against the Wensler kid from Winnemac who had been red hot, and they got to him today. All right, girls 4x4, first leg. Triton leading, Valley in second. That's Gabby Gonzalez. Rochester's Ella Hake is running the first leg, and that is Gonzalez passing to Shepard.
Can you put your tripod up higher so you're not hitting that board?
Shepard about to hand off to Wise. Valley with a pretty big lead already. We thought this 4x4 on our team would be good, and they've been impressive so far. Boys long jump final results in fourth place from Valley, Brayson Smith, 16-9. Third place, Triton's Cole Shively, 17-1. Second place, Rochester's Maddox Jewell, 18-1 3/4. And the winner was Triton's Cameron Callahan, 20 feet 1 inch.
Wow.
It's just been an impressive Triton team. These are some new names that I've been reading off, but they've been some really good, productive results here.
I'm guessing that's Brooklyn. Good leg there by Buzzard.
Wise to hand off to Miller. For Valley.
Ooh. Chesney's kind of going there, Val. Wow. She's cooking.
Speaking of Chesney, she won the long jump, 15.4.5. Second place was her teammate Ava Egolf at 15 feet. Third place, Katie Reichert of Triton, 14.8. And in fourth place from Rochester, the freshman Kyra Dorn, 14.5 3/4. Miller, I'm curious to see what her split is after running a 1 minute .5 in the open 4. That looked pretty swift also.
Oh, yeah, it did. Wow. She didn't lay off the gas at all on that one.
And we were kind of wondering, how would they use her tonight? Would they, knowing they'll see CGA on Thursday, it sounded like tonight she was in top form. Callaway from Rochester will finish in third. So Valley wins, Triton gets the 5 points, Triton gets the 3.
The boys 1,600 meter relay.
Over here, but it just hasn't happened yet. But everything takes time and money, right?
Right. Final score from softball tonight, Caston has defeated Eastern 12-2 in 5 innings. That's a nice win for Caston. It's not a bad Eastern team at all.
Mm-hmm.
And Caston wins 12-2 in 5 innings. Zimpelman went the first 3 innings, and Warner went the last 2.
They added that game, last night?
Last night, yeah. Caston was supposed to play Manchester today. Manchester had to make up a conference game, so Caston threw Eastern on the schedule, so I'm assuming they already had the umps.
Yeah.
Just had to get an opponent. Kylie Logan hit a homer, had 3 RBIs. Scales had a single, a triple, and 4 RBIs.
And I know talking to Trent Taco, the athletic director there at Caston last night, obviously had to cancel their game with Valley. They're hoping to find a spot to make that one up because they, I think, really want to challenge themselves, and obviously getting a chance to see Dalen Buzzard in the circle would be one of those teams that would challenge them.
Yeah.
It was good that they were able to add that Eastern game for tonight, so they wouldn't have to cancel both games this week. I was really looking forward to going over there and doing that game last night. Unfortunately, Mother Nature had other plans. Of course, we will be back at Fansler and Bob Copeland tomorrow night for the Zebras and Mechanical Braves. Both baseball and softball will be taking on Mechanical tomorrow evening. We'll be over at Bob Copeland doing baseball, and I'm going to go over to Fansler and do the softball game.
Yeah.
So kind of divide and conquer a little bit tomorrow. And then, while we're doing a Valley track meet here, you might as well talk about Rochester softball at Valley on Friday with you and Balin Height.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we were going to do the game with Pioneer over at Valley with Balin, and of course, again, Mother Nature. She's winning all the games this spring. So knocked that game out. So this will be our first opportunity to see Val and Balin together.
Yeah, Rochester softball and baseball playing at Valley on Friday. Not a smooth handoff to Parker, but he does get it. And that was a legal handoff. Nate's used to receiving handoffs, but usually it's made out of leather, not out of metal.
Boy, he's a smooth runner too, isn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say, Nate enjoys running at this stadium, doesn't he?
Uh-huh.
He put on a show here in the Bell game, if you weren't here.
I don't want you to be there because if they come across.
He had a cutback move. And he left some pretty fast Rochester defenders in the dust. Parker heading home, and he's going to get the win for Valley, though Triton really competed. Is that Quintana? Finished in second. Bryce Bogger running the anchor for Rochester. They'll take third.
Like the baseball team was on the road quite a bit. I mean, it was a couple weeks into the season before they opened here
Right.
at Bob Copeland, but it seems like they've been there ever since.
Yeah.
So we're underway here with our, what do they call it, throwers and distance relay?
Yeah.
Or are they doing a distance relay then a throwers relay? Because I don't see any throwers in this one.
Yeah, I don't see any either.
So they're doing, the distance guys are doing a 4x1 here.
Oh, I think these distance kids are enjoying this.
Again, Lane,
Yeah.
Lane Shank in there running. He's got a chance to
Yeah.
run a couple sprints tonight.
Yeah, I think they're Javier, and I think that was Marquez who beat him out. And there's Callaway running a sprint as well. This is a new one. I don't think I've ever seen this before.
Yeah.
Usually it's the throwers relay, or they call it the jumbo relay, or.
Well, thanks, Val. Thanks to Caleb and Chris for running cameras for us tonight. And beautiful night here. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. And we'll be back here again tomorrow night for some baseball and softball action as the Zebras host the Braves. Thanks, Val.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. Good night, everybody.